Hey, well, first of all, I'd like to say, and I ASP are gonna find me, because I want to be a part of this fucking dumb wannabe tennis tour.
You know, I think they got his testicles so far up their mouths that this is bullshit, you know?
I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm just thinking about having won the world title and hopefully trying to win another one someday. You just drop in and just smack the drop down, snap. Well, I'll tell you, Stu, I did battle some humongous waves.
Oh, just a paper plane?
Oh, surf looks good on it.
Not bad.
Ain't that swell with Jed and Vaughn.
Oh, those guys are back!
Get a haircut.
Yes, shredheads, waxheads, kooks and barnies, welcome to Ain't That Swell, the radio show dedicated to cutting fucking sick. I'm your host, the two-time Gold Cone Piece Award-winning surf journalist, Scum Valley's finest himself, the maestro of micro-dosing, the punch-drunk pikey, the two-time Gold Cone Piece Award-winning surf journalist, Smivvy. I'm joined here, as always, by my loyal co-host and friend, frontman of the Goons of Doom, former editor of Surfing World magazine, Waves magazine, Tracks magazine, and the newly minted WSL Korean longboarding, the voice of it, the Ray Warren, the Daryl Eastlake of Korean wave pool surfing, Vaughn. I mean, new heights. How was it over there?
I've made it, mate. I've made it. It was amazing, man. I actually going to get into it with you in a little bit, Smivvy, but the queue is sick, mate. And particularly that little leg, Taiwan and South Korea. We had a day over there that was 4 degrees in the water. Like 4 degrees in the wave pool. That's ice bath cold. Like
It is.
Like I think the ice baths we had at the Swellness retreat were not as cold as the pool.
Mate, the only water colder than that on planet Earth that you can surf in is in the North Sea of Germany, which I've surfed in, and that was 2 degrees Celsius, and it was the most painful experience of my life.
I fell off a wave. So what happened was they heated the pool for the queuey, but in the first day when we first arrived, like you get there, it's a wave pool. The waves are cooking.
It's cooking!
And I was like, well, let's go. So, we put on the gloves, put on the booties. I've come from Bordy, so I've got the rubber on. I just waddle down this sort of thing, just that pumped to get out there. As I'm paddling out, Dai Wacko, the Japanese commentator, he got too horny. He just went straight out there and he just turned around.
Just died.
Didn't even get up to his knees in the water. Just turned around, ran in and just went, fuck, it's too cold. It's too cold. Paddled out. Didn't get my hair wet. Didn't duck dive, of course. Fell off on my first wave and just... I was underwater, like having a full-blown panic attack, man. I felt like my head was just getting squeezed in a vice, and I came up, and the next wave was about to break on me, and it could have been like I was back in Fiji on that mega swell in 2012. I was dead set, shitting bricks, mate. I was like going, this is the scariest fucking situation you can be in, because I just did not want to go under again. I tried to jump over it, got fucking rinsed. Mate, my hands blew up. Like... I don't know what happens, but apparently, like when you get really cold, blood will rush to the outer extremities of your body, the places where there's just no oxygen, no blood flow.
Well, if that's what happened to your hands, what happened to your bell end?
Oh, mate, it looked like a fucking champignon buried in a fucking tuft of steel wool. Oh, it was hectic. Yeah, it was fucking, it was crazy. But once we got in there, bro, it was sick. That wave pool is mental. Korea is a bullshit country. Fuck, it's amazing where it is, hey. On the map, it's like in line with Japan, but it's fully just this little nugget of, I guess, I don't know how to describe it really. It's kind of like a really modern city with all the fucking Western sort of like bells and whistles, but also this sort of really cool, fun, incredibly like culture-rich place with just amazing cooking line. Like all the streets are just covered in street foods and fucking fish tanks full of eels and fucking all sorts of
magic.
shit. And then, like literally 20 minutes north of Seoul is the border. Straight over into North Korea, which feeds into China. Like, it's just surrounded by fucking gnarly regimes and communism and fucking, like this sort of life that nobody in those other countries have access to. And Taiwan, again, is in another precarious sort of centerpiece of this insane power struggle between East and West. And you can feel it all. You can feel it all there, but fuck, man, beautiful places, amazing people. I fucking loved it. And being the voice of, the WSL 1-star QE Asian longboard series, fuck, dream come true.
Oh, bet it
Sign
was.
me up, mate.
Does it get any better? Does it get any more prestigious, any more gold cone piece worthy than a 1-star Korean longboarding
I'm back,
contest?
mate.
I think
I'm
not.
back. I thought there was. It shafted old fucking Vorno, mate. But he's back. He's back on the fucking
He's back
tour,
on the
bruh.
plum gigs. You beauty.
Yeah, got a few
Respect for the
persos.
call,
Got a
Lords.
few persos there, mate. I'll fucking whack a few up. You know how I feel about the persos. Yeah, big shout out to Kate Myers for the shots. Appreciate it. Oh, she's coming on the show.
Kate,
Already recorded.
Mizey, bruh.
Done. Yeah, we'll launch it in the next week or so.
Well played. Never heard of her.
Nah, nice one. Finger bang.
Number 5, Mulligmore goes Mondo. The
Yeah.
Irish slab bared its teeth for a swell that Nate Florence was calling in the 20 to 25 foot realm. And it was perfect. Big and perfect and coning. Reminded me of the 2012 Fiji swell, actually. Just a whole lot less hype on it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I guess the world's best surfers weren't there to dog it, so that that makes a difference.
Pussies!
And yeah, just a bunch of fucking psychopathic core lord cone fiend hellman,
Yeah.
including a good friend of the show who I don't know if he's comfortable mentioning his name on here, so I won't. But went over there on a mental trip, got a psycho one out there, got fully scorpioned, broke 5 ribs, and ended up in Sligo Hospital. And he's still on the mend, but well played. He did well. He was capped off on a mental trip over there. But Nate Florence even, like, mate, I've never seen him look that rattled. He had 3 proper hidings for 1 Mondo cone. And, mate, he was on the cusp of greening out when he was in that car. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And he looked, he was going a shade of green. Looked a bit like a 4-leaf clover, a shade of white. He had a bit of that Irish complexion. He was looking sick. Got a real taste of the culture.
Yeah. Fuck, mate. When these images and footage just started coming out, kind of everywhere was pumping. We were almost in another fucking... what were we calling it back in the day?
Swellpocalypse.
Swellpocalypse. Yes. Yeah, I felt like, the Pacific was going bananas. The Atlantic was going absolutely nuts. The only place that wasn't pumping Smivvy was the Indian, where I happened to be on a fucking boat trip. So, Skunksville. Vorno getting stitched there. Shout out Johnny McGroder. Thanks for the trip, mate. Hell time on Barrenjoey. But, a few fucking pipes wouldn't have gone astray, mate. Oh, Vorno, he needs some fucking pipes, bruh.
Pipes of some kind.
Yeah,
if you can't pipe them up with some shaboo.
But I can't get enough of Ireland, hey? Like, the big wave scene there, like, how it's... Like, what was your first sort of introduction to it? Was it Litmus, where Fitzy and Frank and Kidman went up there and fucking, like,
Mate,
Joel
Fitzy's
surfing
fucking that psycho side-slipping underhook drop on a single fin. I think it was Mulligmore.
And it's just
Searching for Tom Curran too, I believe.
Throaty, fucking gargling, gross looking, just...
Yeah.
And then, obviously, Fergal and Mikey, they got kind of the spotlight really shined on sort of just the slab scene up there and some of these outer bombies and whatnot.
And the bodyboarders also, let's
lids.
not forget, because actually...
I'm only talking about my experience, not so much what was
Mickey
going on.
Smith and that, those guys found a lot of those waves, pioneered them. Brendan Newton, actually, one of the former guests on this show, pioneering Eileen's, paddling out in the fucking dark.
Brother, can I fucking get a fist pump on the Brendan Newton eps?
They're
fucking so good. If you haven't
dog.
listened to them, scroll back as soon as you finish this, because I know you got some driving coming up over the Chrissy holidays. Get on those Newton eps, mate. They're fucking...
He's one of the greats.
I was sweating bullets, dude, listening to some of that shit. Sweating. Like, I was doing shit around the house. I had fucking big old pits
Oyster patches.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I tell you could wring them out and get a good old fucking half a cupful, I reckon. Half a glass of Deadly's finest fucking pit juice.
The glass is always half full round here.
But yeah, so the island surf scene is just such a stoker, man. And fucking what is it with the Irish? Can't say like there's some connection with Australia. An obvious connection. Like,
mate,
all
the joint was a fucking Irish convict colony, wasn't it?
We're awash with fucking Irish blood.
We've
in
all
this
got them
country.
freckly fucking jeans down here, just perishing under this inferno.
Just sent over under the fucking jackboot of the red coats and fucking we done good, mate. We fucking done good.
Look at us now.
Yeah.
We're killing it.
Yeah, as usual, the fucking Poms, they shift us off to these faraway fucking lands.
Stuck there
And
on
here
their
we are
shitty
getting
island. Slab prisoners of Mother
pits,
England.
Outer reef fucking bombies. We're fucking owning it. And I've just got, I feel a deep kinship to the brotherhood and the sisterhood of the Irish surf scene, man. I feel it. You know, Jared McNaid and Connor fucking McGree. Oh, I'm fucking saying Scottish. I always go Scottish.
Yeah,
sorry,
we're going to
sorry,
butcher the
team.
accent. That's an inevitability.
Yeah. Fucking that's
People
why.
butcher ours all the time.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, I just love the way that, you know, crew get over there. They just fucking get it done. It's no nonsense. And as you said, Smivvy, not a whole lot of hype around it, man. No real, like, you know, fucking beating of the drum or whatnot. Yeah, the clips come out. Yeah, they go viral because it's fucking sensational shit. But, geez, I'm loving it. What about just the mad cunts, eh? Mad cunts. Irish crew. Love them. I mean, if I think of the, you know, Ned Kelly, probably the most famous Australian Irish.
Illiterate pikey hellman,
Pikey,
robbing aristocrats of their gold, spreading it amongst the poor like Robin Hood.
Getting it done. Australian icon. Jim Owen. There's another mad cunt for
Oh, what a classic. Well played.
you. Went and saw him at Bangalow Hall the other day. He's fucking all time.
Ty Keneally.
Yeah.
Remember that bloke? Ripping it up for the Sydney Swans,
Yeah.
coming over from Gaelic football,
Fully.
carving.
Love it. Anyway, yeah, that's my. Anything else you want to take?
Oh,
away from
yeah,
this session?
fucking oath,
there's
mate.
Heaps, isn't there?
Heaps.
Yeah.
Luca Chumbo got, I don't know even how to describe the wave he caught. He got whipped into it, but the thing was like a 20 to 25 foot grower, just fluted off the end and blew him out in what has to be, you know, I don't think Chopes, like, it doesn't have the height on it, really, that Mullingmore on this wave seemed to have. Like, it was just a freak of nature, this thing, and it blew him out, and Chumbo was just fucking baffled. He was just like, he just kind of was just like, what did I just experience? It does not get more psycho than that. A shout out to the Core Lords fucking doing their best out there. Like, wasn't a lot of makes. You know, when Nate Florence is falling on 3 waves, when his make rate is down to a quarter, 25%, mate, you're doing well to be out there and not getting hurt. And some of the underground guys, yeah, they were paying to play in a big way, including our loyal Swellian, who's nursing the broken ribs.
Yeah, it's fucking madness. I mean, where is going to be the next? Where's the next realm? Where do we go after Ireland and these far-flung places? I agree with what you're saying. You know, there's a major difference between getting hammered in the tropical countries and getting hammered in cold, dark water, you know, dark ocean. Like, you go down, mate, you're not just dealing with the seafloor. You're dealing with fucking beds of kelp and just all sorts of fucking things that are under there. What creatures? Like, where do we go from here, man? What's left? Are we off to just these waves like Pedro Branco, where you just hope that you see some bit of whitewash on a fucking Google Earth map and you just go and fucking hit it?
Or could it be Neptune, Uranus even, Vaughan? Sticking a fucking rhino chaser through the outer rings of Uranus. Let's get on to Muskie, brah. See what Muskie's got to say.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah. Hey. Muskie knows. That's why he's booked. That's why he's packing the fucking O&E board bag, mate. He's got a coffin in his rocket. Don't worry about that, bruh. Oh, fucking Musk.
Well played.
Reptile. So, Smivvy, we did allude to it, but I've got a question for you. Is the Asian, Australian, Oceanic Regional QE the real dream tour?
Mate, if the late 90s of World Tour surfing is anything to go by, you'd have to say a resounding fucking oath.
Yeah, check it out, man. I mean, when I had this fucking proboscis well and truly on the Q grindstone, as you know, fucking, mate, takes a fair bit to wear this thing down. You got a fucking hiding. But yeah, I kind of like was having such a good time, and I looked at some of the events that have been on the regional queue and caught the setups on this thing, dude. So you kick off in Indo, you've got Nias, fucking world famous, like especially post tsunami reef rays. You've got like world class bottom dredging cones out there. You got Crewy, like fucking rippable left hander.
Yeah, not to mention the surrounding zone.
But that holds up to fucking, as we saw, like 8 to 10 foot. 1-2 years ago? Like, and how many rippable lefts are there on tour? almost none. So you've got fucking that as a little flag as well. Then you've got like this sort of Asian Pacific region thing going on with Cloud9, a wave so good, fucking Mike Boyum fucking starved himself on the cliffs above it.
Yeah, kept vigil. Like the true core lord cone fiend monk that he was.
And I've surfed that wave, mate. It's fucking incredible. It is.
It's like backdoor.
I've been there twice. It's fucking amazing. It's
mix of backdoor and some bulbous Indo slab.
Yeah.
Fucking mental.
Yeah. And then you've got India. So India is on the QE map. They had their first QS there this year. Apparently the waves were sick, fun beaches.
Don't need to tell Smivvy about that.
And just a hop, skip, and a jump to the fucking Swellness pilgrimage that heads up into the fucking
Correctamundo.
Himalayas. So,
I smell a little collaboration coming on,
man.
man.
Fucking take down fucking, I don't know, take down Hiroto Hohara in your first heat. Head up the hill to fucking Smithy's joint. Couple of fucking hashish. Get on the chiliums. And next thing's you fucking back down the hill with fucking spiritual enlightenment. Fucking you're done, mate.
Mate, are you kidding me? You don't even need to compete anymore. You don't need any silverware after a trip on the Swellness pilgrimage.
Yeah, mate. Fucking, you're not just heading to fucking Bunnings to pick up your Bailey's ladder or your Yeti cooler. You're fucking going up the hill with Smithy, bro.
Fucking oath, bro. Fucking oath, bro.
Like Jinzun Harbour in Taiwan, full little lower setup. So, like, that's... I would call it not too different at all. There's left points all around there. Fuck, Taiwan gets good waves. Like won't blow any of the secrets, but like it is not one of those places that's relying on typhoons for swell. Like there's a lot going on down there. And then like you chuck in, the comps at home, Merryweather in Newey. Fucking
Not bad.
The bra.
Good size.
The bra.
Oh, the bra. Snickers.
Coast,
Snickers
fucking-
1,000? Or is, is it a fucking Mexicola setup?
Yeah, Mad Max, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
But, mate, you're talking about a culture-rich, surf-rich experience for the poorest cunts in fucking pro surfing.
Well
And,
played.
mate,
How cosmic. How karmic.
I know. And, mate...
And
like-
they're getting cones at the end of it, and they're getting on the beanies and the pseudos, and a bit of jiggy jig, a bit of make banana cry, no doubt, Vaughan.
They're getting the best food, the best waves. They're having a hell time with their mates because there's no pressure. The fucking whole thing operates like one big family. And, mate, it's pretty much, you fucking chuck a Pipe Masters or a couple of slabs in there, bang. You've got yourself a fucking legitimate dream tour, bruh.
Magic.
The whole calzone, mamma mia, it's so good.
Arigato gozaimasu. Yeah, and interesting... Maybe lecky pick. Let's hope they don't go there, but lecky pick, that could be an option.
For sure,
lecky
bruh.
pick.
Yeah, so I don't know. I found the whole experience of being on the queue and the surfers who are on it, like, there's something pretty cool about what's going on there, bro. Like, there's something really cool. So, Japan, Indonesia, the Pacific sort of region, Philippines, and some of the other little countries around there, and Australia have heaps of dual sanctioned events. So you can go and surf in all these events around the joint and you get points towards your own tour, basically. So you're not directly competing for the same ratings points, even though you take those points. It's a bit convoluted, but it sort of breeds this fucking epic energy where they're all getting together. And by the time they hit the Changers, they're all in that one unit, if you know what I mean. So you got Aussies going for the Japanese, you got Indonesians going for the Aussies and the Japanese. Like, everyone's like this one big family.
Mad.
And what really brought that to light was actually, dude, it was the worst tragedy. A young Indonesian surfer died while we were, like, during the contest, while we were there in Taiwan. A young kid named Fabri and Saya, and he was one of Rio White's sparring partners growing up, one of his best friends. He was number one. He was the national champ in Indonesia on his way to, joining Rio at that top league. And he had an accident and tragically passed away. And it just fucking sent the contest into a spiral, dude. It was gnarly.
He back at home or at the event site?
At the event, during the event
God.
window. So it wasn't during the day. It was at night time. It was a traffic accident. And
so was that at the Indo stop?
No, this is in Taiwan.
Oh, my God.
So, like, during the day, I'm not joking, the Indonesians were all in this incredible group of mates and family and friends.
Guys, fucked up, man.
Rizal Tanjung was there, and, mate, his leadership, his fucking spiritual, just fucking, mana's the wrong word, but, the Indonesian fucking heart that guy has and the power that he had to pull everyone through that time was sight to behold. But one thing I wanted to shout out was the way the WOS handled that scenario with the most incredible compassion and thoughtfulness, and fucking nailed it, man. Like Ty Serrati, Bonnie McLeod, they're the sort of the two head WOS crew there. And they just went straight into action, man. They had all the Indonesians, like they were taking care of back end sort of logistics, because it's fucking like Indonesia. Like imagine you're from Indonesia, you lose someone overseas. You know, like all that fucking head fuckery that goes on trying to get not just deal with the initial grief, but all the shit that comes with it. Like, you know, you got to somehow start putting things in motion.
Mate,
So
it's the most impoverished third world country.
Yeah.
You guaranteed that bloke's not from Coin, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows? Like all of the back end stuff.
He's definitely not from Coin. Like Rizal was telling me, his family collects bottles and takes them to get recycled to make money. Like that's how he was doing it.
That makes it all the more heavier, because in these countries you have children, so that, you know, you need them to provide for the family.
Yeah.
There's no social security. There's no social welfare. Like when a young man dies, you know, there's the tragedy of his loss of life, but the impact on the family in a survival sense is big.
Well, it was huge, man. And the first thing that, you know, got put up was a crowdfunder, right, to try and raise money to get February home to his family. That was a big one, right? And I started copping like DMs from people going, why isn't the WCL just fucking paying for this shit and all that? And I was like, mate, believe it or not, like all of that mechanics was at play. Like they were the ones sort of setting all this up. It all goes through an insurance company eventually, and it all gets around. So that money was just put in place instantly, and they raised the money in a heartbeat. Like it was so like easily achieved, and Rizal was just so grateful that, you know, there was all sort of, it just took all the stress out of that particular scenario.
That's mad to hear the surfing community come together instantly.
Mate, like by the end of that first afternoon, it was done.
Wow.
And all the rest of the money goes to his family.
Of course,
so was saying. So that was amazing. But yeah, man, I was just blown away by every single like aspect of that tragedy. Was dealt with so well. Like they called meetings with all the surfers saying, is everyone okay? Like, what do you want to do? And all the surfers sat around and were like, oh, we'll do whatever the Indonesian crew want to do. And the Indonesian crew got together and they were, we want to push forward. Is what Fabri would have wanted. And they were like, but can we have a paddle out? And just every step of the way, the Ty and Bonnie and the WOS were there, like facilitating the easiest path through the trauma. Fucking blew my mind, man. I was so stoked and so so grateful, because it was a fucking tragedy, man. And right down to the very, like, I'm talking like counsellors on hand for anyone, staff or surfers or competitors who wanted to, you know, open up and just pour it out. They had someone to talk to. It was classy shit.
Oh, mate. Yeah. It's a mad insight that you give, because, it really, when you talk about, you know, the NIAS comps, you know, won by Margot in the 90s, the even the early G-Land comps, like that's what they were. They were this kind of like DIY jungle spec event, and that was like a golden age of surfing.
Yeah,
and the WSL has moved on from that, like at the World Tour level, and so it's good to see that level of bodgy contest scaffolding and sick waves and just, you know, underground battlers battling it out and taking care of each other at the same time, and just that what goes on tour stays on tour. That kind of like that's the surf culture that I grew up in watching unfold in videos and DVDs. So sick to know that the WSL is bankrolling that and that it's still going. And not only are they bankrolling it, they're taking care of people when shit goes down, which, you know, back in the day, they probably didn't even have the resources to really do stuff like that if someman passed away on the road.
Their protocols were on point, and there was a genuine sense of care. So I was really fucking stoked to see that whole operation in such a fucking hectic situation. It was really cool, and big shout out to them. But yeah, man, on the positive side, you know, during the paddle out and afterwards, the camaraderie of that tour is unlike anything, man. Like, it reminded me heaps of the Swellian Army, you know, like where you get to the Changers And you've got to actually generate the sort of energy that just came naturally to all those competitors watching that contest. They all sit together in a big group. It's one of the loudest comps, that one at Jinzun Harbour in Taiwan, because the break and the spectating platform are within earshot. So you can literally hear it. You can see it. You can feel that roar. Fuck, dude. So cool. But yeah, that's my number 4. It is a dream tour. It's a fucking dream. Like the grommets who are just putting their toe in the water, I reckon they've fucking got it better than the cunts at the fucking top of the tree, bruh.
And they've definitely got it better than the cunts on their changers. You get me ripped off. You get me.
The Chang needs a little reshuffle, doesn't it?
Holy smokes. Give him some waves.
It's having a shocker
at least.
I mean, it kicks off all right. You know, snapper and narrowbone, that's fun.
Oh, well.
But let's get some slabs. Let's get some cones. Let's give these Changers crew who have earned it the chance to fucking send it, Smivvy.
Or is that what it is? It's just this weird purgatory that you must suffer in before you get to the world tour.
Limbo, bruh.
Exactly. You're neither here nor there. You're just stuck in this netherworld of, you got enough money to get around the world, but there's definitely no comfort.
Nah.
The waves are fucked.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with a lot of pressure before you graduate to the big leagues. Who knows?
Jeez,
WSL knows.
It seems like that's where the heartache really lives, on the Chang. Because, look at Morgs, Dylan Moffat, and Chippo a year before this one.
Is Dylan Moffat at the moment? Is he fully Moffat?
Oh, he's Moffat, mate.
Fuck, I bet he's Moffat.
Fuck, he's a good surfer, eh?
Yeah.
He rips, mate.
Whippity,
Fucking angry
whizzity.
ranger. Giving it some. Yeah, he's good. He's good. I love fucking... Anyway. Yeah, 2 Bob from the Real Dream Tour. Smivvy.
Hawaii Psycho, Vaughan. It's kicked off in the islands, bruh. Barely even December, and the coconuts are already falling off the trees over there.
Yep.
So don't nod off. Don't be on the Murray Cod under a coconut tree, because you might fucking die.
Yeah.
And you might also die at 50-foot piahi, or at the back door or pipeline, because they're all popping off. The outer reefs there on the North Shore, it's all popping right off on Haleiwa. Some crazy days out there.
Yeah.
And crazy, typical all-star cast on the pipe swells. Nate Florence, John, Ivan, Koa, fucking, JOB, all the big dogs stuffing their face as per usual.
Yeah.
But for me, Nate Florence, mate, he's a cut above. The guy is, what trips me out about him is the ability to survive heavy situations, like his ability to fall off in ways that are so creative and so safe, despite the potential death. He's like an aquatic stuntman, and you've watched it kind of evolve, this pin dropping, cartwheeling, face planting act that he's got going on. What will Nasty Nate do next? Off the top rope, here he goes.
Yeah.
It's great theatre. And we watched it evolve over the course of this kind of tour de slab over there in Scotland and Ireland on these just weird novelty slabs, and his ability just to kind of commit, but know that if it doesn't pan out, he can still jump off from the top rope safely, and or he can at least get to the bottom and face plant there and kind of dip out the bottom of the wave. He's just an amazing guy at falling off, which then enables him to get the one over and over again. And there was just a couple at Pipeline that I just thought were fucking wave of the winter spec, just nasty, angry, orbular, warped out pipe slabs, not the perfect variety, the fucking boog variety. But he's stuffing himself in them, and it's great theatre. I'll pay it, Vaughan.
Oh, for sure. Actually, you bring up an interesting point about falling well. Like, skateboarders are the masters. Obviously, they're dealing with concrete. They're fucking going at high speed. They're usually coming off of some sort of hectic vertical incline or whatever, and just having to deal with that zero transition onto fucking bone-crushing fucking cement, mate. Like, there's no forgiveness there. So it astounds me that they can just get up and do that again and again 3 or 4 times before they'll make something. And it just comes down to knowing how to fall. And I remember Parko saying, remember that, that right-hander in up north, far north, northwest WA. Slater's right, they call it. Fucking.
Yeah, right. Slater's right.
Well, I mean, that's what
I was the guy who fucking dominated.
Yeah, fucking oath. But Joel was surfing that wave with Andy, and he kept on popping out the back. And Joel was like, because that's that wave. If you fucking doggy door it, like you kind of doggy dooring it straight into urchins and
bricks,
fucking rocks and shit.
It's a closeout.
And so
like,
Andy would just fall off, and he said to Joel, like, there's a place you can fall in the barrel. There's this one little moment where you can pick this spot, and he goes, you almost go, I'll try and remember this off the top of my head. I might even fucking try and get Parko on the blower. If I don't, you know I didn't get onto him. But if I do, this is where we're going to drop it. But we might not have. So, but he said there's a place where I think you get on the tail, and then you just quickly pop off into this sort of little dead spot you create. That's I'm talking consequential. You create this little well that you can pop down.
That's some deep state
Yeah,
conspirity
bruh,
thinking right there.
Oath, man.
That's like the space that Conan Hayes, the great conspiracies,
I
exist
fucking
in.
remember Parko saying he found it.
Wow,
he found it.
He found the wormhole.
The portal, the wormhole.
Wow.
Yeah, you dive in and you don't pop out the back. You actually travel through this weird, like fucking, Rick and Morty fucking
other dimension. Yeah, the fourth realm they call it.
You pop up into all sorts of fucking weird places. But he found that zone, and I just wonder whether the Florence brothers have tapped that same little wormhole, mate.
No doubt they have. No doubt they have. Yeah, the act of falling. And it's interesting, in that moment when you're peeking over the edge of a serious slab, like those skilled guys, they know, and even the punter knows, like the punter, myself, talking here, knows that when you peek over the slab, like your bones are telling you no cunt.
Oh,
you're not up to this.
Yeah, big
and
time.
you pull back. The reason that your bones are screaming at you and every cell in your body is because that next bit, like you're behind the thickest bit of ocean. This is my fucking primitive slab knowledge.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself behind the thickest bit of ocean. So when it is in the 6 to 8 foot realm, for starters, you can't blow the drop. That you need to have some element of control in that moment.
Yeah.
If you blow that bit and you end up in the bit that you're trying to backdoor, you're fucked.
Oh,
that's the thickest part of the wave.
Fucking drilled, bruh.
In any of those proper consequential orbs, slabs, like you can't fall in that part. Whereas those guys, they know they can at the very least get in, or they can jump, or they have methods. There's just so many that amazing insight you just gave.
Yeah.
There's so many little tricks to the trade and things that hyper-vigilant, ultra-trained, black belt master can see in a wave that allows them to navigate these situations where the mere mortal, he doesn't see that shit. No. And it just fucking blindsides him and rams him into the reef head first.
Yeah, man.
Sticks his fucking asshole over his head like a giant cape. And just suffocates him.
Oh,
Have you ever seen, I'm sure you've seen it a couple of times.
I've never
someone
seen
end up with their head literally up their sphincter, and they can't breathe, and
I
they
have
die.
seen it. I mean, and these are the crew who are starting to fucking pack out these lineups, dude. Like, there was a time where the outer realm of big wave surfing, of hardcore slab shamanism, was just for the select few. It was the habitat of a very select few, and now it is a fucking dog's brekkie out there, bruh. So, it's crazy. I just can't believe it when you're looking at these waves and there's just, it looks like snapper rocks out there. Every man, his dog, dude. Like Piahi is so ridiculous. And when you're seeing people like Kai Lenny in situations like the one that he just posted the other day, which we reposted, I think, backwards over the falls, dude. Backwards over the falls at Jaws.
Mate,
that is the most rookie error I've ever seen. And that's, I'm not saying he's kooking it, because fucking obviously he's the biggest freak ever.
He's kind of kooking it.
He cooked it!
I was baffled by that. I'm like, mate, surely you're not that hard up for a sled that you're swimming. Oh, no, broke me leggy. Fuck, gotta save me ball. It's gonna hit the rocks.
Rookie error. We've all been there.
What a brain snap.
Yeah. You know, when you're in your head, you're going, I got this. I got it. No, I haven't got it. I'm backwards over the falls. That was so, how's the vomit coming out of you? Thinking about it.
Ouch.
That weightlessness.
Gotta hurt.
You know when it's got you and you haven't quite hit that point of terminal velocity in the lip as it's going down? Whoa, dude. Oh, that made me... It was bad.
Yeah. Couple of evil wipeouts on that swell. I saw another clip of Albie later. I think he whipped some bloke into one, and the dude just goes, man, couldn't quite get into it. Just kicked off the back, and there's just a fucking 1,000-foot wave just mows him down. And Albie's like, oh, fuck. Like, imagine that being the tow partner, the guilt of just what you don't get a guy into the wave. You don't quite get him in the spot. And he kicks out only to get just fucking decimated by Neptune with all these tridents just fair up your coit.
Oh, man, that is fucking hilarious to me. Like, it seems to me like 15 years ago, that never would have happened, ever. Like, they just would have dialed it in. They did so much prep. They did so much, like, pre-game fucking study to make sure that they were always in the right place at the right time. And now it's just fucfucking cowboys from hell out there, bruh. Not that, Albie doesn't know what he's doing, but still, like, you're seeing Kai Lenny goes backwards over the falls. You're seeing Nate Florence get fucking drilled on. It's because there's less resources, man. Like, surely if those guys were just out there and they had it to themselves, old school, like 10 guys out max, they're not going those ones. They're just like kind of trying to find the one that's going to be the one. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, Hawaii, cooking. Fuck, dude.
Islands, bruh.
What do you reckon? Like, I don't know. Like, with Hawaii cooking so hard right now, part of me is really missing this end. Like, I feel like I've got a weird amputation, like a ghost limb, where my old pro surfing end of the year hand used to be. It's just this fucking nub that's got a few tingles in it.
Ghost neural pathways, just flapping around, looking for stimulation,
You know what I mean?
looking
Like,
for
we've
orbs,
been
cones of
gearing
mortal
up for
consequence.
world title winning pipeline shenanigans right now, and it's just this sort of dead zone where there's all this swell, there's all this waves getting conquered, but not a whole lot to sort of really sink your teeth into.
No, it's such a good point. I mean, we're deep into the spring sting, nothing but northerlies, and usually at this time you can at least vicariously watch people stuff their face in
Pipe
serious
Masters,
energy.
old school would be starting this week. You and I would be.
Fully.
Yeah, mate. Well, I'm going to get you to just give me ghost nubs a bit of a scratch after this air, if that's cool. Because they're tingling, man.
Yeah, that's nasty.
You don't want any nub tingling. Bad look, Smivvy.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, Smiv. This is a good one, bruh. Laura Enever scores Guinness Book of World Records for biggest wave ever paddled by a woman.
Well played, Lazar.
On your Laszla. The nymph from North Narrabeen paddled out to a North Shore outer reef. The day of the Eddie was that big day, the Monstro day.
Love that. Didn't get the invite. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Fuck your dogs. I'm going to go fucking pack one up the point.
Oh, yeah, it's 10 foot bigger around the corner. I'll fucking see you out there. Hey? Huh?
Fucking North Narrow style,
fucking,
bruh.
mate, the bombing
And
at
then
North
hates you, can't fuck
it's
off.
way bigger than this. This is fucking dog shit compared to the bombing at home, mate. I fucking rode one into the pool one year.
Fuck.
Anyway, yeah, mate. She's etched herself into the history books, or a history book.
Yes, which book is that,
Yes,
Vaughn?
it's the Guinness Book of World Records, published by an Irish brewing company.
Some Irish drunkard. She's in there amongst the spittle and blood gum stains,
Well,
the gingivitis, etched in gingivitis excrement.
When I was a grom, I never put the two and two together that the Guinness Book of World Records was published by Guinness, the same crew who made your poo go blacker than crude oil.
Try and get to a fucking whole pint of Guinness. It's impossible.
I know, man. And but she's
Eating 10 steaks.
Well, she's immortalised herself alongside other world famous world record holders, such as the man with the world's longest fingernails.
Oh, that's magic.
The woman with the most spoons balanced simultaneously on her body, Smivvy, and also the boy who has the farthest milk squirting distance. So she's amongst elite company, mate. She's amongst elite company.
Wow.
But yeah, mate. Look, the award was not without its detractors. It was marred in a slight bit of controversy. Controversy?
What could that be?
Yeah, well, look, it appears that there is some sort of conspiracy going down.
No way.
Jesse Miley Dyer and the Woz had fudged the numbers, somehow pulled out a tape with centimetres instead of inches on it to fudge what has been the measuring standard for this wave, and in doing so, have somehow was commentator in the box seat for this highly sought after, Black Turd Award, which is the Guinness Award, of course. But
Black
there is no
Rancid
evidence to
Grog Bog
suggest so. There's no evidence to suggest so.
No
but
smoking
obviously
gun?
No smoking gun. But there, as is the case, whenever there's a little whiff of something fishy in the water, beach grit will dive on it. Like
if they smell a Guinness Grog Bog.
Yeah, they'll get all over that. And they've uncovered a few other sour grapes out there in the women's big wave surf fraternity community. It doesn't seem as supportive nor as full of camaraderie and sisterhood as the men's big wave world surf scene. So,
You mean to tell me it's not the woke yah sisterhood that we've been led to believe, where they're all backing each other as they try to shatter glass ceilings or piss all over glass
I think
ceilings?
there's blood feuds everywhere, man.
Wow.
I think there's blood feuds everywhere. There's blood in the water, Smivvy. There's blood in the water in the Women's Big Wave World Tour. And
Jesus.
mate, I think, Maya Gabera and Justine DuPont, they have been threatening to get in the octagon for a long, long time, bruh. And I think there's a few fans of Justine DuPont who are not happy about this award being handed over to Laura. But credit where credit's due, mate. She didn't just paddle out with a vest on and a gaff and just go, I'll have a crack at this. She's done the hard yards on Australian slabs, mate. And I challenge any big wave surfer, male or female, to surf some of the fucking setups that Laura's had a crack at. So,
big time.
in my view, Smivvy, which is only my own, but I know is shared by Swellians worldwide, that is that our Lazzle has well and truly earned her place alongside the world's longest foreskin. Most coins shoved inside a foreskin.
Oh, yes.
Most toe jam ripped from an overgrown toenail. All these elite achievements by the world's greats, and she can hold her head up high amongst them.
Yep, and next cap on the rank, the world's biggest jar of egg jam. You know it.
She's a shoo-in, mate. She's
Gotta
a shoo-in.
be.
Just
And-
make sure you've got the scales well and truly sorted
That's
before
right.
because otherwise we don't need to invite this sort of controversy into our lives, mate. We don't need people piling onto the walls. They've got enough to worry about without having to fucking fiddle and fudge with the measuring of big wave
Don't
walls.
leave it up to Miley Dye. Leave it up to the official Guinness record checker, that closet Irish alcoholic with the toupee who's fumbling around with some fucking 1800 spec measuring scales. He's the official. You don't fuck around with the Guinness Book of Records, mate.
You
don't
can just see him there with the egg jam on one side of the scale and him with his little weights just slowly putting them on the other side. It's official. It is 3/4 pints of egg jam from Laura Enever. Thank you, Laura.
And, it's a bit rich coming from Gabera. I don't think I've even seen a catch away. The only time I've ever seen her pop up in surfing is when Poto's got her by the back of the hair, wrenching her to safety, or she's getting the life pumped back into her on the beach in Zaray. She's fucking a glorified corpse. Has anyone even checked her pulse? She's nothing more than Weekend at Bernadette's.
Oh,
Just shuffling around there, just whipping this corpse. Is she even alive, or are they just whipping a corpse into waves?
hey, is she still going out with Billy from Neighbours?
Wow.
She was going out with Billy from Neighbours. Yeah.
Fuck, I can tell you who's wearing the pants in that relationship. And it's not Billy. Berserky Vaughn, he's back!
He's Bierke.
The Intergeneral Core Lord Cone Fiend, son of a big wave gun, has done it again. Rinsed corn by Jingo. He's done it this time. The Outermost Limits of Leisure is his latest offering to the surf gods, and surf gods doth decree. It's fairly off its teat and out of its gird. It's fizzing. It's fucked up. It'll do your head in. Are you kidding?
Brother, is this clip of the year?
It's gotta be.
Like, I don't know what more you can do on a surfboard on moving water that can top this.
Unless Nate Florence could make some skits, but megamix mashup. And I've said this to him on Instagram.
Yeah.
Mash it up, you cunt. Don't make us sift through fucking hours of you eating breakfast see the slabs. Just give us what we want.
This is where Nate Dogg is going to, unless he cuts it all together, but I mean...
He skunked himself.
Yeah.
He's stooging himself out of 20 Gs.
Well, we're talking about, the stab edit of the year, right? What's it? Seti?
Yep, seedy, soti, fucking soiled something.
Yeah, so, Nate just releases it. He's got his own business, his own agenda. He's doing his own thing. But as a pure form of fucking artistry mixed with the most mind-bending fucking cone-off I've seen in a long... Since Nosvid. This is the most blown out I've been since Nosvid. Like, proper mangled watching it. Like, I don't know if your eyeballs can get stiffy, Smivvy. I don't know if you can wank your eyeballs. But dead set, mate, watching this thing... It was like a fucking little hand came out and just started working me peep shaft. And I thought my eyeballs were just going to fucking explode all over the screen, bruh. It was working me peep shaft like a little Sanua Banchong on overtime. And fuck, bruh. Wow. I was just going, this is a joy. I was just sitting back. I was just,
That's a good point. I have actually seen it under the microscope. There is millions of tiny penises on the face of your eyeballs. And that's what crying is. Crying is simply a mass ejaculation. And that's why it feels so good.
That's why it feels so good after a cry.
That's science.
Oh, that makes so much... Yes, that is science.
I've seen a Huberman on it.
That
the whole
is science,
Huberman on
bro.
it.
That is science. But cop this. Like, go back and just cop this, Swellians. Like, get on to Bierke's clip drop and just fucking marinate in the first wave. Like, with the drum track.
Oh.
The fucking amount of shit going on, dude. It's fucking dead set like an Indian marketplace. It's just shit everywhere. There's fucking stuff going on in that wave. You can just pick one little tiny little insignificant cube of your screen and it's just exploding like fucking a supernova or some sort of big bang. It's like, it's the most amazing fucking footage and the best, most perfectly written wave I've seen in fucking so long.
There's a perfect 4-foot grinding slab in there that's at the very bottom of the wave, pretty much. It really makes you think how big it is.
Fuck, it reminds me of an old photo of Andy Campbell out there from years and years and years ago where it's just this mutant day, obviously no one out, and it sort of defies belief, this photo. I can't remember what it was in. I don't even think they ran it that big because it wasn't a great resolution or something, but one of the best. But, yeah, mate, Russ, I got this kind of weird feeling when I was watching this clip too at the start, Smivvy, and that was that I missed shippies, eh? Like, I missed sort of seeing... I miss sort of seeing just that level of detail of that wave, you know, because it's not like it hasn't been getting surfed and fucking completely buggered by all the Tassie boys. Like, they love just getting in there and just sorting it.
Buggery,
but,
sodomy.
Yeah, just like, you miss it kind of like you miss like a fat, bloated, heaving, belching, farting uncle at Christmas lunch. Like, you don't want to bar him, but you love him.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel kind of watching Shippy's waves. Like, you just don't want to know about it. You don't even want to fucking acknowledge it. But at the same time, you just fucking love it, eh? You love it. And the way that surfing that step and those ridges has evolved is beyond my comprehension, eh? Like, back in the day when we first sort of understood that you could swing late, get under these lips and deal with steps in the tube, I was like, wow, how can you change line in these sorts of waves? And remember Nozza, Noah Dean was talking about it to us about like boog line. Like, the only way to evolve surfing in leaps and bounds right now is fucking boog lines. Like, getting your board in a place where you're relying on sort of the back quarter to hold you in and everything else is sliding around you and you're just sort of tail drifting and stepping off and ollieing, and it gives you so much more freedom to move in these fucking chambers of just fucking grotesqueness. And this is a perfect example of just fucking cunts knowing how to put their boards in the perfect spot when it's mayhem all around them. Absolutely fucking incredible clip. And I even enjoyed just watching Bierke's just fucking rail out a couple of old lazzles off the top, couple of drop wallies and a couple of down carves on the backhand, and just watching him surf and just going, yeah, this motherfucker knows his shit, mate. He is ripping. And just finally, before you drop your two bob of your highlights, Andrew Kainita, mate. This guy has been on the radar for a while. He is a world-class filmmaker, man. Fuck, his cinematography, his drum tracks, the feel of it all, it just is so on point, in sync. I just cannot see this getting done for a fucking movie of the year.
They took such a risk with that really sparse instrumental soundtrack, but fuck, it was a master stroke in the end because it really put the focus on the surfing and it just added to the cinematic nature of it, the great theatre that it was on show. That first wave, two things really stuck out about it. Yes, there was so much going on, and the other was just Russ's technique, that squat stance, the leg strength on him, his ability to draw a smooth line through boils and contours.
Yeah. The way the last remnants of his skeleton just fucking clutching into his skull for dear life as a flap off the breeze. Unbelievable.
Mate, and a nice doff of the gaff to the great Jorge Greenhoff in the naming of the film as well, right off the bat, Outermost Limits of Leisure. And that straight away just had me thinking how far this crystal voyaging, cone wrangling caper has come. I mean, full respect to Greenhoff, but this is another fucking dimension. We ain't at Lennox Point anymore, Dorothy. Dorothy would need to clean the corn out of her undies if she saw what young Russ was driving his steed through in this thing. Really sad, ultimately, just to see the curtain come down on this edit. I could have watched it for years, for days.
Yeah. And the curtain did come down on this edit
in more ways than one. You caught onto my entendre.
Yeah, well played.
There, Vaughn. The curtain did come down on both the film and Russ himself as he attempted to exit that Eileen's glitch cone. That thing was so long, I started bashing my laptop because I thought the thing had fucking frozen. What's going on here? Just so steep and deep. The thing just grows and grows and gets squarer and squarer and throws this ludicrous chandelier off the end section, that's wide enough to fucking fishtail a bus through. But he gets gypped on the end, condemning him to the realm of sublime near makes with Cole Christensen and Twiggy Baker. It's a shame, Vaughn. A real shame. He was searching for that one to outdo nasty Nate Florence, and he found it, but didn't quite get the completion.
How's the little tease too? Because he fully has 2 or 3 chambers that he appears through. And you just go, what? You're already screaming, and then another fucking chamber goes over, and you're like...
And it gets thicker and rounder and squarer.
I'm calling 10 out of 10. Well, I haven't seen Vacuum yet. I haven't seen the Apocky offering. I haven't seen MASH. No, Dean's
MASH is mental. Vacuum is just not in that genre.
Nah.
It's there's a couple slabs in it, but it's not
Let's
even...
do an update, before Chrissy and go deep on the culture.
It's a mad hype up, get the Groms frothing film.
I just fucking love watching Creed surf. I watch Creed surf any day of the week.
Yeah, mental rail turns, crazy punts and the odd slab, but this is fucking
what about
another planet to that.
Motel Hell. That's
the
Harry
other
Bryan's
sleeper.
one.
We haven't seen that yet.
That one.
And it's on the way.
Well,
so
let's get Hazard on. We'll do... Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll do all of that. But... This is, for me, right now, edit of the year by a fucking country mile, mate. The only person you can see within QE of this edit is Ned Brockman, and he's just a black dot way back behind you on the horizon, mate.
Yeah, ultimately, the thing that really blew me out about this fawn was just the way he's able to hop down steps and handle the most ledgy, cupped-out drops. He's knifing 12-foot pits like they're 2 foot, side slipping under the lip. There's waves where he's not even into him. He's on top of the ledge, and the guy's commitment and his confidence, he just sails off the ledge, happy to disconnect.
He has a poker face on him.
On a 10 to 12-foot wave and find his fins and rail at the bottom of it and just fucking... bottom turn into the hugest stand talls. It's next level surfing. And it's so cosmic to think that he is the fruit of the loin of the great Kirk Bierke. Just another...
gun-shaping fucking hell man from the outer realm.
And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and that's why this guy is next level, mate. Having him as a father, those boards, that expertise. I mean, I can remember when Russ was 9 years old, surfing those slabs of on the south coast with a GoPro in his mouth, going waves that full-grown men didn't want to bar
Mate,
off.
there was a Beatles blast off when he was about 9 at North Ave, and it was fucking 10 foot, like every bit of it, 8 to 10. And he was the only competitor who paddled out the back. Like all the rest were cruising on the shore here, and it wasn't like a diss or anything. He just wanted it. And yeah, far out, man. Like to see how far he's come is just outrageous. This is the surfing that you can get behind no matter who you are. And yeah, congrats, boys. Fucking booyah. Cone piece winning. It's going to feature in our Golden Cone Piece Awards later on in the year, Smivvy.
Under or over?
Before we get into our under or overs, Smiv, big shout out to Billabong, #1 supporter of Ain't That Swell, the OG fucking surf degenerate radio show. Bongers up the fucking bong. If you need some Chrissy gear, get online, mate, billabong.com, or support the core surf retailers that support them. We just did an interview with King Stingray. They've got a King Stingray range coming out.
King Stingery!
I think it's in the new year, but we'll drop that sort of early January, first thing in the new year. But fuck, dude, that's got some hell yarns, eh? And it's sick because, you know, like if you think about the iconic Billabong connections to surf, you do think, you know, the desert, Australian desert, Occy in the tent, far north WA with the Super Challengers and whatnot. So, yeah, it's a cool tie-in with Yothu Yindi because the King Sting boys are in Yothu Yindi as well. And, yeah, stay tuned for that one. But up your bong. Fucking love you, boys and girls. Unders or overs, Smivvy?
No Contest Morocco, the TV show you hate to love, Vaughan. It's fucking that good. And, you know, Ashton's the man.
Yeah.
A mad Floridian wave hustler. But fuck, he's sailing close to the wind on this one, mate. Did someone say blowout? Was it you? Or was it me? But, yeah, like kind of heavy for the zone. I know that, you know, look, I know that the Lokes, they're impoverished. They need money from tourism, surf tourism. But does anyone need to go to Chungu to know what a couple of hype men for a surf zone can do to a joint? I mean, dick bottle openers on every corner.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, epic show, though. You can't not watch it. It's so good. Like, you know, insights into the culinary melting pot, couple of platinum corn rinses from Rambo, Ramsey, Buchheim, the whole destroyer, in, out. Fuck me sideways, cunt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Rambo, Ramsey, the whole destroyer. Jeez, he can rinse corn and destroy a hole.
And jeez, he can blow the back out of it. Holy smokes, what a power man. Did he get a fucking wild card or did he just get flicked?
Flicked.
No way.
Surely.
A lifetime on the queue, rewarded with a big fat fucking flick.
Go back to your cave and Essaouira and cook up at Tagine because you're not wanted here.
Goat with an average heat score of 4 and fucking can't get through a heat gets the golden ticket for another go round.
I smell a bit of backsheesh.
Speaking of which, I heard a great yarn about the local cuisine in Morocco.
Bit of goat on the menu?
Years ago. Mate, goat is always on the menu in every country.
Even more so now.
In every country.
Oh,
Don't you
I've
worry
heard there's
about
fucking
that.
wanted posters around. Don't go to Tagazoot or Tamrit, Wessaouira goat. You're on the menu big time.
Yeah, there's lots of goat on the menu. World's #1 meat.
Infidel. That's what he is, Vaughan.
I know.
A marauding infidel stealing the resources of a young, hungry Arab man. It's a disgrace.
Oh, jeez.
When does it end?
Everyone was so excited to see Hamsi on tour. And you know what, though? The waves never turned up. And that's what everyone wanted to see. So, anyway, we'll see. But, mate, a few years ago, Griffin, when he was on Bong, had this profile movie in the mix. And him and Parko and Mick went to Morocco and on a surf trip. And the whole trip kind of got canned because Griff got injured first wave. But Mick was telling me that one day they had this, they were down the beach and they just had a huge, like, monstro surf session. And they came in, they were just starving and so thirsty. And the only thing they could find to eat was oysters washed down with camel milk.
Ooh.
And next thing you know, the fucking...
Oh, rooting each other?
That's
a mad aphrodisiac.
4 world titles between them, just fucking shit in the bed. Both ends. Fucking explosions of all sorts of Moroccan delicacies in all directions. And, mate, I would just be wary of mixing your seafood with camel milk. I don't know if it is a good call.
Yeah.
You know, Anthony Bourdain, he'll say, you know, when you go to these countries, dive into, like, you know, the local cuisine.
Yeah, but look what happened to that cunt.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's it. Yeah. Good lessons there.
Probably what did him in.
Oysters and camel milk.
Bad oysters.
Fuck, mate. That's a
Caviar.
a combo, isn't it?
Bad champagne. Bad
but
heroin.
yeah, Blowouts land. Yeah, I think they are sailing close to the win. But as you say, you know, fuck, it's a good show. I don't know. It's a tough one. Like, I mean, I know when Derek Hind was going up there a fair bit, and he was shooting like a fair bit of. He had this giant frictionless, finless experiment going on. He was working with the guy up there, and they had a falling out, so the footage is never to be seen. But I'm talking
Derek Hind having a falling out with someone.
I know, bizarre, isn't it?
That's so weird.
And anyway, which to me, that footage is going to be psycho because he was at the peak of his powers, properly draining solid 8 foot surf up there. And we ran one on the cover of Surfing World from back in that time. Anyway, you could not get a look in at those waves. You had to be so stealth about where you were shooting them, how you were shooting them, what's going on, you know. So it seems pretty new, this sort of like just open slather, throwing the doors of Morocco open.
Over.
Gonna give it over.
You giving it over?
Oh, it's a marginal. It's.
So you're giving the show an over, but the blowout.
Oh, mate, don't invite it. It's coming your way. You don't have to invite a bunch of fucking Nord Lords and Svens jumping out of the lip at you.
Because that's where they're coming from, man. They're coming from up north.
They are. Northern European kooks. On your way. You don't need to invite it. It's happening. It's going to happen. Just, anyway, marginal over. Marginal.
Pretty piss weak if you ask me.
Born there, sharpening the spears at the end of the road. And they've got some IOC prick's name on it.
Oh, yeah.
Thought they could pull a Swifty on old Matahai, Drolley and Du Bois by drilling a fucking spaceship of a judging structure straight into the reef. Well, think again, Vaughan. Here's the plan. According to Stab Magazine, they will be parking an enormous 126-metre, 103-cabin cruise ship in the channel to accommodate some athletes and staff. Well, I mean, look, let's just hope they don't get a code red swell because you can fucking barely fit a rubber ducky in there when it's really cooking.
Yeah, it's a floating hotel, right? They're bringing in a some
cruise
sort
ship.
of monstro
A P&O fucking COVID factory.
Yeah, unreal.
Buffet breakfast,
Mate,
fucking camel milk, oysters. What else do you want?
Nothing will fucking dismantle a fucking surfing comp on a cruise ship like a fucking case of oysters and camel milk gastro, mate.
Wow.
You watch that run through the fucking Olympic Village afloat. Yeah.
So, look, I mean, not a bad idea in some ways, as long as it's far enough out to sea. Big luxurious cruise ship for the athletes. You know, they've earned their right to a bit of caviar and a bit of champagne after weeks and months and years of toil in the gym. You know, so a little bit of goat's milk to soothe the hemorrhoids and whatnot. All kinds
Is this like? Is it actually enforced? Like, do the surfers have to stay inside the Olympic Village afloat?
It's a good question. Can you stay at Mar and Pars, you reckon?
Yeah, because I can't imagine Jack Robbo and Ethan Ewing, who have been going to Tahiti since they were Groms, not staying with the families who billing them out every single season.
Yeah. So anyway, in this agreement that's been floated, mooted by the IOC, is this intriguing caveat. The new Judges Tower will enable Chopes to host surfing events, major surfing events after the game. And this judging tower supposedly is going to be upgraded to accommodate up to 40 people. So the current wooden scaffolding can accommodate around 20. And I guess this is the one they've had for, a couple decades, more or less the same thing. Just been
I've spent time up there. I commentated a CT there that Corey Lopez and one of the Hobgoods surfed in final years ago.
Yeah, and so this new judging tower is going to be made out of aluminium. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be drilled into the reef.
Oh, excellent.
And yeah, that just wasn't part of the original deal, right? As far as the Chopes Lokes are concerned.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a viral video
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Matahai is kicking up a stink, and it's pretty mad. Like, the young Grom, the king of the Chopes cone, has been chartered with leading the resistance, and he's, marching on the streets, followed by dozens and dozens of people, reminiscent of Dustin Barker in the islands, marching against
GMO.
Monsanto and whatnot. This is what he had to say, Matahai. This peaceful walk is not against the Olympic Games, but it's against the new aluminium judging tower they want to build on the reef. That this is going to damage the reef and the whole ecosystem of the lagoon in front of the wave, and in the worst case, the wave of Chopu as well. Imagine that. Now, Stab also reported that this skirmish is not the first instance of friction stemming from the Grand Olympic spectacle, as Matea Hequili has shared compelling visual evidence of taro fields behind the village being razed and supplanted with crushed gravel and concrete, making way for catering trucks and various electronic paraphernalia during the 3-day duration of the contest. So, very interesting to know. I mean, look, what's wrong with a bit of taro and corn for the IOC elite, eh?
Yeah, man.
What do you need food trucks for, mate? Get on the fucking Poison crew, the tuna, the fresh sashimi.
Yeah.
Some local root vegetables.
Yeah.
And fucking muck in with the call-outs.
Yeah.
You want a bit of surfing in ya? Well, get a bit of surfing in ya.
Oh, it's a heavy one, dude, for a lot of different reasons. First of all, money versus the environment. We all know who wins that war.
Oh.
Like, I mean, there is no second place. There is only a winner and a loser, and we all know who loses. And that's fucking locals and the environment. So I hope that this one does get resolved in a way that is fucking, sensitive to the locals, because they're fucking living with it all year, every year. Any repercussion from decisions made now for the sake of a fucking moment in the public eye, the global public eye, is going to have long-lasting ramifications. So, fuck 'em, mate. Fuck 'em.
Fuck the dogs, eh?
Yeah, but I...
You get the nut.
I have kind of an understanding of why there's pushback and not just instant sort of like compromise from the IOC on this one. And that's because during primetime fucking television hours, right, when surfing is on, Paris is asleep. France is in bed. The whole fucking evening has kicked in Europe. So the only Olympic sport that will be running in primetime for fucking 12 hours is surfing, dude. So you think about how many people are going to be watching surfing for the first time. It's going to be the key sport in our region in particular, but America and all that as well. It's the one that'll be on during the most friendly hours for watching. So this is surfing's moment. And in the eyes of them, in the eyes of the IOC, in the eyes of the surf, all the connecting organisations who have something to gain from surfing being successful in the Olympics. And so they want that scaffold to look fucking minty. They want the car park and the crowds there. They want fucking everything to be hype real and as big as it can look, so that the whole games is given legitimacy, and the whole decision to have surfing in it has legitimacy. So it's a spooky one, bruh. It's a spooky one. I think they're fucking, like they've got to dig their heels in. I back Matahai and all the fucking Chopes crew 100%. There's no reason to tear up anything for fucking the sake of a scaffold, in my view.
There's no need for it, is there?
There's no need.
It's just that we've
But
been
you know what I
running
mean?
this show
You
for
can see the
a good
mechanics
20 plus years.
behind why they're not just in this conversation to just whittle it down and have it working in
the optics aren't
the
good.
optics, man.
The optics don't suit
bruh.
the Olympic
We
brand.
can't have this rickety
well, neither does a
scaffold,
bunch
bruh.
of fucking drug cheats and used syringes outside every fucking dunny.
Yeah, mate.
But,
Fuck it.
they let that go on for too long.
Anyway, interesting times, Smivvy. Let's just get the swell-in army well and truly in behind the fucking Loke Dogs, because they've been shit on enough by fucking vested interests with fucking too much coin. Bruh.
Under, Vaughan.
Under. Huge under. Hey, and just quickly, guess who's in Camp Olympics with fucking Jack Robbo at the moment, mate? Yeah, did you see that?
I did.
Yeah.
What's the go there? What's the
Official.
scoop?
No. All will be revealed, Smivvy, except that, let's just say the Vortex Shaman, he's got a little bit of swelling and mongrel getting pumped into his Olympic campaign, mate.
Gotta love
Watch
that.
this space. Watch this space.
Born Tulsi Gabbard turns war pig, the Swellian Queen.
What's happened?
Oh, I don't know, Vaughn, but what I do know is that I'm taking her picture down from the wall of core and putting among the war pig filth.
Yep.
So, yeah, she's going in between Henry Kissinger, Netanyahu, and demented Joe Biden, removed from the wall of core alongside Naughty Paul, Jody, Burridge. She's gone.
The Swellian Queens.
Consider it gone. Gone!
I haven't been keeping up with that. I've had lots of feedback on the DM, the Swellian DM, of people going, boys, what's going on with fucking Tulse? Like, there's a lot of whiff out there, and the whiff ain't good, mate. It's like when you walk past an open sewerage in in Bali or whatever. You're walking down the street, all is well, and then all of a sudden you just walk past an open gutter, and wow, mate, the reality of what's going on, just fucking 1 inch beneath the surface, comes screaming straight up your fucking bugle. What's been going on, Smivvy?
Here's what she had to say. I joined over 290,000 Americans at the historic March for Israel yesterday in Washington, D.C. to take a stand against anti-Semitism, against Islamist terrorists, and to stand in solidarity with the Jewish people who face unprecedented threats and attacks. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were a no-show. One reason I left the Democratic Party is because it is led and rife with Islamist apologists and protectors who label anyone who oppose Islamist terrorists like Hamas as Islamophobes. Now, on face value, not too bad. Yeah, sure, I support Israeli people, and I'm against anti-Semitism. But right now, there is a fucking raging war going on in which the full might of the American military apparatus, as channeled through Israel, is indiscriminately bombing civilians. All of it led by a raging, unapologetic fascist in Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And, yesterday I was watching a 9-year-old kid get shot dead by snipers, and his little mate, running out to drag the body behind a fucking car while remonstrating at the snipers. What the fuck are you doing? Like, we're dealing with a level of butchery and murder and genocidal colonial behaviour that is so fucking far beyond the pale that I don't know what the future looks like for Israel beyond this. Like, I just don't. Like, it's sad that this fucking rancid fascist government that was on the way out, they were about to get booted before the outbreak of war, and this war has just conveniently prolonged their career, and the moment this war ends, they're gone, pretty much. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Kind of lost my train of thought there, but I wouldn't be standing with fucking Netanyahu right now. And the sheer wave of disdain and disgust for Tulsi's stance on that thread is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Wow.
Because for so long, she had attracted a certain type of person, the peace-loving, anti-military industrial complex person. Among the people on that thread going, what are you doing, dude? Was BJ Penn himself, the prodigy, pound for pound, one of the greatest fighters of all time, from Kauai, and Tulsi's, tight mate. Like, they were on Joe Rogan together. And I just don't think any sane person in the world right now is supporting what the Israeli government is doing. And so I can't fathom it. I don't get where it's come from. Mate, I back rejecting anti-Semitism, but there's so many Jewish people who are disgusted by what's going on in the Middle East right now. There's among them Dr. Gabor Mate, John Stewart, Jewish Voices for Peace. It's as common to hear about Jews who are against the Israeli government. There was hundreds of thousands of them in Israel before the outbreak of war. So I don't know where this has come from.
It's just, it's like, fuck it. You don't have to. It seems to me like as soon as you have an opinion about this, you just get fucking hauled into one camp or the other. And you have to really make it known, that you are supporting one or the other for you to not be just kind of swept along with it. I've seen and heard comments about sort of, the reporting that you've been doing saying that you're fucking anti-Semite and stuff. And I'm like, fuck it. What a fucking shallow, ridiculous fucking statement to make, all you're doing is shining a light on the fact that fucking kids are dying. No one can support either side of of anything that's going on. You're just supporting love and people and fucking survival and the fucking what's it called? The right to have a fucking life, you know? Like, that's all you want is a life. Like, and all these fucking arguments about what side you're on or you're supporting this or you're supporting that, mate. You're just supporting life.
Mate, the anti-Semite argument is so fucking weak.
So
it's gone.
rank.
It's a G-up.
It's
People
so
are
bad.
laughing
and
at
also,
that now.
But like you say, man, like, you stick your neck out, you get fucking shit on. Like, every fucking person with a keyboard wants to fucking jump down your throat. But, mate, no one can accept what's going on over there. Like, if you've got a fucking mind or a fucking heart in your body, you can't accept it. No. And the people who are in power and the people who are making choices to fucking diminish and end life are fucking need to be held accountable on a fucking, like, war crimes level. Like, that's the only way. That's the only way forward for anyone. Everyone in that power structure needs to be fucking, like, trialed. That's it.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
Well,
I don't
mate,
see why.
don't worry. The Israeli courts were literally putting fucking Netanyahu on trial for corruption, and that's why he tried to dismantle the courts, and that's why there was 100,000 people marching in the streets to oust the cunt.
Yeah,
Even Israeli people hate the fucking political party that's in power right now.
Yeah, man. And
look what he's done to them.
This isn't affecting people everywhere, man. Like, I was like, and I'm not talking about fucking, like, just the you know, the real effects of the people who are genuinely in the conflict and the families and the sort of, like, 1 degree of separation from that trauma. But the fucking kids growing up watching this shit on the news, they're fucking traumatised, dude. Like, my grommets are traumatised. Some of the staff on the WSL, like, there was a grommet who just does video work for him. And I said, "Are you all right, man?" One morning he goes, "Bro, I just was on my phone this morning and I fucking spiraled. Like, I actually went, I'm just looking at dead kids."
Mate,
fuck, bro, that's just so, like, you know, it's a fucking hard.
Look, right now,
time to get your
if
head
you're
around.
like following this conflict through your phone, you're seeing an unprecedented perspective of war. Like, the iconic war coverage began with Larry Burrows in Life magazine in the Vietnam War. You know, that was the first time we ever saw what war really looked like. That was a photojournalist who was embedded with the military back when there was no media advisors, so you had unfettered access. And mate, I've been to the Saigon War Museum. I've looked at the photos. I mean, you can Google them. It's fucked up. But then we entered this period where the military realised that what happens in war, it needs to be carefully filtered because there's a lot of fucking bad shit, a lot of war crimes, a lot of innocent people getting butchered. And so they did. And for a long time, we existed in this totally bogus informational realm where you've got CNN and Fox News reporters in flak jackets saying they're near the front line. Although you're just horseshit, just gibberish. But now everyone's got a camera phone. So this is the first time we've ever seen a conflict unfold in real time with no censorship. You can just see it, mate. Follow Sean King, follow Eye on Palestine, follow any of these accounts, Democracy Now, and you will just see the actual reality of a conflict like this. And it's shocking people. It's disgusting people. It's rattling beyond belief. This is an unprecedented time in history. And not only are we getting an unprecedented perspective of war, we're also able to then discuss it in the format of a podcast where no one can fucking edit this shit. There's no gatekeepers in this world. So we're able to create our own narratives out of existing narratives and create these kind of mosaics of information like we have done on the System Failures series. And it's undeniable. Like, you know, you just go from The Intercept to the Democracy Now to NPR to, like, all, and you create this fucking this narrative of other people's words, you know, reputed independent media organizations. And what you're left with is a fucking damning and somewhat terrifying picture of what could possibly have gone down here. And that's what we're talking about. I'm not in favor of Palestine or Israel. I'm in favor of fucking peace, mate.
That's it.
Because peace serves us all. I don't want to be the victim of fucking Islamic terrorism. And, like, that's all that this is going to create.
You've got to just question the agenda of anyone who's saying smite a fucking race of people or like going in under the guise of like, we're doing this for our safety. Like if you're not doing every decision for the benefit of all of humanity and you're just looking after a fucking subset of people who you're interested in, there's no fucking good result that comes out of that. Like it has to be for everyone. And yeah, it's fucked, dude. It's actually fucked. But, you know, at least we're talking about it and we can fucking start to try and peel away that fucking glossy layer of bullshit that has been piled onto all of this fucking narrative for so long.
Yeah, exactly, man. We're in a golden age of information and we ain't going to shut up, mate. And yeah, they say in war you got to pick a side.
Yeah.
Well, don't fucking pick a side. Pick peace. That's
Yeah,
it. Just
that's it.
whatever leads to peace, that's the side. Keep that as your intention.
Exactly. Smivvy, brother hooey, mate, fuck, pretty frothing. We've got a new partner. That's what these neon lights are about. We're sitting in a fucking neon, in the glow of a neon light, bruh. Up is on board, fucked, frothing as, dude, because as well as the war pigs, mate, the fucking financial industries of this fucking planet, particularly this country, Australia, it is being run by these fucking maggots who are fucking jacking up the interest rates, making it impossible to fucking live, and at the same time, fucking spruiking record profits in our faces like it's a fucking achievement. Like, taking the fees and the fucking money out of your pocket and then flying a flag at the end of the year. Look at us, we've made such a big profit.
We're rich,
We're ripping. Oh, by the way, interest rates are going up again and your fucking mortgage is going to be another fucking grand this year.
But we're rich.
Anyway, yeah, we got up on board, mate. And I'm frothing. I'm fully... Like, it's a bit of a financial revolution. Like, they're fucking out to fucking actually look after you. And, yeah, man, like, it's sort of based on helping Groms with their financial decisions and get a secure financial future without fucking, you know, rinsing in you under the fucking, on the flip side. And I'm actually fully transferring all of my banking to Up. Like, all of it. Because I can't be or back or fucking support these institutions that are just flagrantly flaunting the fees they charge me in my face as some sort of fucking achievement. Like, it's fucking the height of fucking world gone mad fucking greed and just fuck up. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, man. Like, how would you describe it? I don't know. How do we get to a place where they're clearly rinsing you and claiming it as a fucking achievement? How do we get to this place?
Yeah, because we live in a world where corporate reptiles pretty much unzip their flight, pull their dick out, and slap us around the face of it. That's the world that we live in.
Bruh. Oh, so anyway.
We all know it. We all know it. But what are we going to do?
Bruh.
What are we going to do? We're going to fucking strike. We're going to sit down. We're going to fucking not play their silly little game. We're going to block exports and stop the greasy wheels of capitalism and petrochemical horseshit. And yeah, we're not going to comply, Vaughn. That would be the way to stop it. But, mate, we got mortgages and rent and, bills and shit.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Cars to service. So it's not easy to be a povo cunt getting sacked for striking and boycotting.
No. So anyway, I know it's a bit of a rant. I know it's been going on, but Up is backing the Swellians because they know that they can help our crew out there who fucking want to travel, especially travellers. Like, they've got no fees if you're overseas, so that's...
No, they're seriously helping you get into the cone zone. So,
fully.
And we back that.
Actually, I did want to say this. When I was on the QS, I noticed one of the WAS judges pulled out a fucking Up card, and I was like, oh, bro, they've just come on board. What's the deal? Like, is it and
he said, hold on, I'm just going to rack up this pseudo, and then I'll explain to you.
I was going to say, he was like, it's... Because he does so much traveling. He was like, it's easily the best. No fees. Like, it's so easy. And I sound like I'm sales pitching, but, mate, if you can't trust a WSL judge, who the fuck can you trust, Smivvy?
Mate, they are the beacons of honesty and integrity. There's never a bit of backsheesh going around there.
But he's a young fella from Newcastle, and he was
Newey, from the Steel City working
bro,
class.
You can take his word, and it's fucking law. Anyway, Up are going to sponsor a new Seggy. Lord of the Week.
Lord of the Week.
Lord of the Week.
Fucking Lord.
And, we're going to fucking send it every week with Up is part of this segment. So this week's Lord of the Week is fucking Jai Glindo.
Glindos.
Glindo on your Lord, on your mega lording on Parko's board. Did you cop that clip?
Yes, I did.
So we're going to have a chat to him right now and get a little bit of an inside line on this clip and how he got hold of Parko's favourite sled because, fuck, you know what happened?
He fucking snapped it. Fucking
Right.
Lord.
Hey, as far as like fucking heavy things going down, snapping someone's favourite board has got to be fucking right up there. Like, what's worse that you could do? Root their chick?
That's probably worse. But yeah, like he wasn't exactly nursing it either, was he? He was, stuffing it inside of chambers, savage down calves that were tearing the very fabric of space and time. So I wasn't surprised to see Parko's F1 super light glass job creation. I was actually surprised to see it survive as long as it did.
Yeah,
to be
and
honest.
how fucking... Oh, mate. Glindo's style, mate. We talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
That is good. Anyway, check it out.
Snooky,
Here's Glindo. So, yeah, cheers again to the Legends at Up, the bank that has young Aussies' backs no matter where they are in the world. Download the Up app, sign up in minutes, do it all from the comfort of your phone. No need to go to the bank or any of that bullshit. Just use the code OVEREASY, OVEREASY, for $10 on sign up. I'll chuck 10 fucking squids in your bank account, mate.
Kidding me?
So up the fucking swellions, mate. Putting the up in up the fucking swellions.
Well
Sick
punned.
baby on board on your boys. Yeah, shaka.
Does John Flowers have Kelly Slater's foreskin in his knee? Does Gabby shave the bits of skin that none of us can see? If you drag your filthy cornhole down to the face of the old man pipe, will sparks fly from it like a comet across the lonely night? Are the Wazzles judges crazy? Have they fucking lost the brief? Would chain her and take 50 grand over a lettuce leaf? The sweating seek answers, the prophets will apply. So scoff your shrews and ask us a question, we will speak no lies. Ask us a question, we'll tell you no lies. Ask us a question, we'll tell you no lies.
All right, Smivvy. Sick to have new sponos, mate. I'm actually frothing. We got O&E on board as well. Fucking sussy Inlex finest, mate. Cregan. How good's a fucking company that's just stuck to its roots and just gets it done?
Up the sussos.
Up the sus, can't. All right. Good to see you, Smivvy. It's good to be back on the
Likewise,
couch, bro.
mate. Good to see
It's
you
fun, eh?
survived the... Well, it's a bit of a cannonball run, isn't it? Southeast Asia in terms of gut health and keeping a clean set of undies.
Yeah.
But you did well.
Had a hell time. Yeah, South Korea is fucking well worth checking out, man. Like, if you get a chance, get up there. Like, the contest and the surf culture there was fucking awesome. But what blew my head off was the actual level of surfing from the Koreans. Insane, dude.
What?
Like,
So they've got
rep.
fun waves there.
Really fun waves. Like, more of a longboarding scene because
Yeah.
it does need a bit more typhoon kind of activity. But down south is meant to be beautiful, right down south. And when they get, like, decent swell, there's good waves there. But I knew there was a surf culture. Andy Finlay from Wild Things, the longboarding institution up here in the Byron Bay Industrial Estate. Of
course.
He's been telling me for years. Like,
Finlay, he
get over
knows.
it. Oh, he knows, mate. Pretty good longboarding scene. But, yeah, the amount of froth for the comp was legit. So
What
check
about
it
North
out, bro.
Korea? I know you're an apostle of the search, the Rip Curl search venture. Any talk?
Hey.
Maybe Fanning. Maybe Fanning can be the olive branch that brings the Koreas together, and in return for that peaceful offering is a banquet of cones.
Oh, man.
up
Well,
on that northern tip.
the hot tip is that China and North Korea have pretty decent surf.
Wow,
There
it's
it
only
is
just
for you.
beginning. Just when you think it's over,
Yep.
just when you think it's all blown out
Yeah.
because of Instagram, selfie-sticked fucktards,
Yep.
there's China and North Korea opening up, peaceful, prosperous, and we're pumping pits for the punters.
Yeah.
Come
One thing
on.
we haven't talked about, Smivvy, is, and this relates to our first question. Chris Cote is almost always first question. When I put this up on, if you want to send us a question, just jump on the Instagram, hit the DMs.
What's he doing there?
Comments.
Hanging upside down in laird boots with a notification just to ping?
Yeah, I
when
reckon.
the Swellings put out a
I
question?
reckon he is,
He's
yeah.
that much of a core lord frother.
Isn't he? But he said, do you still have any sentimental connection to Lemoore, California? Can we hear the Lemoore song one more time, please?
When the goat digs a moat and mics up Chris Cote.
That's
Lemoore.
I think I've moved on from Lemoore now that the Abu Dhabi pool's there. Yeah, look, it might be fucking dripping in, the impoverished fucking blood of Saudi oil, ripped from the homelands of traditional people for the elite few. But
Bangladeshi migrant workers with their passports stolen.
yeah, so I'm more about the Abu Dhabi pool these days.
Well, you know what, Vaughan? I'd like to hear both versions. One,
have you got a Lemoore or Abu Dhabi now?
I haven't, but I have the original wave pool song, which touches on the original prototypes, which were nothing more than a spit in surfing's eye.
That's right. Let's have a listen. Okay, this one is from Scatman1620.
Scatman!
That takes me back, mate. Where were you when you first heard that song?
I believe I was in the dungeon of Berghain getting scattered on by the actual Scatman.
Oh, wow.
It was great.
Yeah, right next to Trough Man, right up there in the
Mate, they
Sydney
were next
Underground
door to each
core.
other. One room was Trough Man, one room was
Scatman.
Scatman. You could get pissed across your million little tiny dicks on your eyeballs or get some fecal matter. The pink eye was raging that year.
God, that was a pink eye epidemic that overtook Sydney back in those gnarly 90s. So Scatman wants to know, what are the ethics of taking an aqua bog, particularly in a crowded lineup? I have taken numerous stealth aqua bogs, cop this though, at the pass in my time. Am I a spiritual master surrendering to the divine oneness of the ocean, or am I a menace to society? Please explain.
I'll feel this, Vaughan.
Mate, a aqua bog at the pass is a heavy call. That's like got a long way to travel,
Well.
past many, many people, and could end up as far as Hastings Point, even washing around the corner at the Superbank eventually on a good swell.
It's true, but when nature calls, Vaughan, and just a few headlands south, I've transgressed with my aquabog. And really the key to the public aquabog is reading the refraction. It can surprise you how much energy is bending in. And it's only once a floating cork is in the lineup that you really get an idea of the kind of geometrics, the wrapping wavelengths, the way they coil in. Like, you can think you're well beyond the lineup, you're well wide, but 50 to 100 metres down the line of a world-famous point break, that refraction continues. And
That's interesting,
It's corks ahoy, Vaughan.
That's
It's corks
interesting.
ahoy.
So you're creating this sort of this scenario of like the plastic island in the middle of the Pacific.
Yeah.
You could be creating some sort of detritus inflow, which really only the famous rip man who puts the the dye into the current so you can expose the rips.
Exactly.
You could be creating some sort of like scenario where you've got these whirlpools of caca.
A spinning
Infesting.
whirlpool of shite.
Yeah.
What a perfect metaphor for the state of affairs that we're mired in. But yeah, it really is that. And,
How do you feel about, at the past, dude? I mean, it's never empty. It's never empty.
Mate, I'll take a shit on the past 24/7. I don't give a fuck about that joint. But talking about the dye man, many years before they had this sophisticated purple dye, it was left to the likes of, Bedouins eating oysters and camel milk. And that was how they filled lineups and understood wavelengths and swell directions, and the way, Morocco famously pioneered this kind of technology. How do you think they discovered anchor point in these places? It was a bunch of Bedouins just spraying the bowl, or off the rocks to be more precise,
finding their little...
and then following it. Where's it going? Where's it going? It's going down. Oh, now it's wrapping with their long telescopes. We know how smart those Arab cultures were.
A Paco and Mick oyster and camel milk stew is the secret behind finding some of the world's great point breaks.
Follow the corn kernel. Follow the corn kernel. Can you see it, Paco? Yes, I see it.
Okay, here's a good one from whatever Trevor. Fuck, marry, kill. These are always fun. Laird, Sean Briley, and Neco Padaratz. I reckon that's the easiest fuck, marry, kill ever. I mean, if I'm going to get fucked, I want Neco Padaratz, the Brazilian tiger, to fucking rip me in half, mate.
Jesus. Yeah, well, it's better than fucking big old Briley flubbing all over you.
Yeah,
Jesus.
No, I don't know if you need, just a fucking... I haven't seen Laird's gear, but I would imagine he's got a vein that's thicker than most people's legs running down his... meaty shaft. So
yeah, be careful, mate. Be careful what you wish for. You might get blown right off the horse there.
No, I like the passion of the Brazilians. If we're going to get involved physically, let's go.
Yeah, well, they'd have to dig you out of the bed after Briley climbs off you. You'd be dead set.
Well, I reckon I'd marry Briley just purely for the access to set waves at Pipeline, and I could live a happy life on the North Shore with Briley. Yeah, he's got a little something lovable about him. And then, that just leaves Laird to be... we've had enough of Laird, haven't we?
Yeah, I've had a gutful. I've had a gutful of his turmeric lattes. I've had a gutful of all of his gut health products. So, yeah, man, I'm ready to fucking off the cunt for sure.
Jakey Elliott wants to know, which new WSL recruits do you think are going to do the most damage next season? And which ones do you think will melt like white chocky?
Oh, well, no one will quite melt like white chocky, Vaughn. I think that's
he's in his own league for pure melt, the old chocky, the white chocolate. Let me think. I'm trying to think who qualified last year. We had Cole Houshman and
Crosby,
Colapinto.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Can't see those guys really suffer, struggling. Chippo's in there.
Oh,
I can't see him
he's
struggling.
Too. Chippington.
I don't know. That's a tough question, man. I fucking don't know.
Who's going to do well?
I have to have a good close look at it because I haven't really. The Chang, I struggled with it this year, man. I'm usually such a big Changers dude, and I just fucking lost interest. I didn't follow.
Was it even on? Oh, yeah. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I saw one good day in Durban. The only really...
Narrabeen had some pretty solid good days at Kari's and stuff. Sally Fitz is back.
Oh, Fitzgibbon. Are you kidding me? One last turn.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's the Never Say It's Over John Farnham tour.
Mate, I would love
Schwitzy
to fucking
Schwitz it up.
grind a trail of just fucking core South Coast carnage through the fucking ranks of these uppity next-gen chicks who are fucking flinging a bit of tail and getting scores.
Oh, mate.
I've got no business.
Strap the gaff and fucking give him the old Gerringong kiss.
That's it, mate. Just a fucking good old Sally Fitzgibbons right in the fucking forehead for you fucking Katie Simmers and Molly Picklum. I love them all, but I've got a lot of hope for Fitzy this year, mate. What about you? I think I'm going to tie my horse and cart to the Fitzy bandwagon.
Oh, man, she'll pull it. She'll pull it from here to Carnarvon because she's a fucking staunch bitch. She's a goer. I'm backing the Schwitz all the way, and I'm backing the Chippo Lord.
Yeah, me too.
I think backside vert hits on open ocean rights. That's the whole first half of the tour. And a couple of pipeline cones for the
And how pumped are you to see Chippo
Lord.
get on that CT? Pipeline especially. Get out there, son. Give it some, Chippo. Ollie Sherb, been loving the recent eps with the generational icons such as Chris Brock, Smivvy, the core lords that you've been churning out.
Oh, yeah.
Well played,
Well
mate.
played.
Fuck, there's some good ones. That Chippo interview actually worth a listen.
Sports psychology 101.
Real cool, man. Real cool. Oh, actually, fuck, mate. I was thinking of you because I was listening to that driving up the coast to do a little bit of stealthy fucking cloak and dagger work with Jack Robbo. Wink, wink, Olympics. Swellians involved. Stay tuned.
Interesting.
And Robbo said to me, I was like, mate, we're doing a couple of little psych tests, right? And I said to him, like, mate, what's your like go-to mechanism when you're like, up against the wall, heat's not playing out how you want, you need to score 30 seconds to go, and he just looked at me and he went, mate, that's my fucking time to shine. That's when I get it done. He goes, no one fucking wins heats better than me, and that's. He was looking in my eyes like he was about to fucking jump into my skull. Like he was so tense, man. I've never seen it. And I twigged on something about the shaman that we've always known, but that motherfucker is more in the moment than anyone I've ever met. Like, he can't rehearse stuff. He can get the muscle memory. He can do the reps where it all becomes part of his being. But, man, in the moment, I reckon he's fucking pretty indestructible. And the other cool thing that he said was like, if it doesn't go my way, I'll just get it next time. Like, he doesn't hold on to fucking, mistakes. And I think that we're like, it gave me hope for this Trestles fucking fiasco that plays out. Like, you think like, fuck, can Robbo ever beat Felipe out there? Mate, I reckon talking to him when you're in the flesh and you're looking into his eyes and you're fucking beaming out and your noses are that far apart and you're just fizzing out on each other's energy, you fucking believe him, man. Oh, not one bit of my fucking being didn't believe in the Vortex Shaman at that moment.
That's the thing. Every time you watch him when he's at his best, he does surfing that you didn't even know was possible.
Nah.
He's in the Clay Marzo realm. New lines, just the way he's able to pivot and like belt sections and ride backwards and like there's new space that he's unlocking on the wave.
I've always said it about him. Like since he was a Grom, you probably wrote about it when you went on that trip with him to the Ments years and years and years ago. But, man, there's something about his ability to be completely conscious in those moments. Like, without thinking, if that makes sense. Like, he's so able to see everything that's going on in the moment. It's like, it reminds me of, like, fucking The Flash or fucking Quicksilver or those fucking, like, superheroes who, they do those scenes in the movies where they're going so fast that everything else is dead still. Like, they're functioning at this rate. And the rest of the world is at like 1 frame an hour. It's like they've just got so much time to be conscious in this fucking hectic shit, whether it's a pressure scenario, an ocean scenario, just an energy scenario that's elevated.
It's so true.
It was cool, man.
At
it
that
was
elite
so
level.
Cool. I fucking loved it. I was talking to him and I was going, mate, this cunt is a world champ every day. Every day. It's just the system, but I even reckon he can bend that system to his will.
Yeah, at that level, you're often seeing surfers where they're waiting for the wave to catch up to them. They're surfing beyond what is on offer with the wave. Their speed, their ability transcends the opportunity given to them by the wave, and it's the ability to manufacture scores in those kinds of conditions and kind of get those reads on waves that are not really offering the opportunity that I guess separates the fucking... The wheat from the chaff,
it does,
let's
mate.
say. But I think Robbo, that electricity, that spark, that X factor that surprises you. There's only a very small amount of surfers in history that have had it.
Yeah.
Dane Reynolds, Clay Marzo, Jack Robinson. I'm trying to think, like Toledo's got it, Medina's got it. But yeah,
John's got it.
John's got it. Yeah,
Andy had it. There's a fucking, there's a rare few for sure. But even like, that's why I was talking about Chippo, because like you see him in certain kinds of waves and he's got it. But man, getting back to Ollie's question, he said, could Smivvy wrangle the great Tony Spanos to jump behind the mic and share some classic stories UTFS?
Mate, it's been on the cards for a long time. And don't worry, now that it's been said, it's been mooted, whatever you want to call it. Your wish is my command.
I'm looking forward to that.
Mate, I won't get a word in. Once you fucking... mate, that's why I've been fearful. Don't worry. I'll bring the chillum for myself because the ears will be bleeding. But fuck, he's got some yarns, mate.
I'll bet he does.
One of the greats.
Mate, this is from the Noisy Surfer. It's a bit of a story, but I'll read it to you. He says, after going through some hectic shit in the last 18 months, I took solace in self-care and training. I even recently returned from France after tackling 15 to 20-foot Lenore at age 44, which was a major goal. Can the Swellians dedicate an episode, a week, a month, whatever, to the foundations of getting on the right track with nutrition and structures, etc. There is so much potential in all of us. Big kiss, little hug, little kiss. This sort of plays into our swellness, agenda, retreat, pathway to good mental health and better choices. Yeah, mate, it's coming. Smivvy and I often talk about sort of new programs for this show, and really like the Swellness is a place where we kind of record a whole bunch of those things in a single weekend sitting and share the knowledge and the wisdom. I think there'll be plenty of those coming up.
Yeah, a Swellness special, like a weekly Swellness pod or bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Yeah, it really is. Like, if you listen to that Call Lords with Jughead, I think there is another one that's about to drop with Ray Collins. Like, these chats often detour into this territory in an informal way. But, mate, there's so much knowledge there. Like, it's crazy. Like, the last couple days, I've been, I have my usual routine, Wim Hof. I've upped it to half an hour of meditation in the morning and getting in the ice bath and doing this kind of quick circuit training. Mate, it's like I'm fucking on drugs. The energy I can generate through that practice is crazy. And I've said it in the past, there is no mental health issues when you have high energy.
Yeah.
Like, really, depression is just a matter of having low energy.
Yeah.
And I just spent 6 weeks with a knee injury and I was depressed because I fucking couldn't generate the energy. I had to fucking lay about and it was hard.
Well, mate, we've got access. Everyone does. Everyone has access. You can find these people who are so willing to share their journeys and their tips and their stuff. But, fucking oath, man. We'll bring it to you. We've got access to some of the great minds, some of the great fucking fight backs out of these big black holes. Incredible stories. Lives that are constantly being challenged by having the methodology to heal and be better, but also understand that you can't control everything. You're going to spiral, and these are the pathways to keep on keeping on. And, man, I would say that that's going to be part of our 2024 program rollout for sure, to have that consistently as part of our thing, because definitely the Swellness is coming back and definitely the pilgrimage is coming back too. So stay tuned for that one.
Hope you get the lot, you dog.
This is from Quabsy, mate. Last question. We'll end it on this one. Love you, bro. He said, as a man with solar panels, I was wondering how many titles would Kelly give up in order to have an insanely beautiful head of hair? Or is this the sacrifice he made to the corn harvest in order to win his titles? I can tell you how many. He sacrificed 3 because he didn't want to go bald in public, whether he admits it or not. But he fucking retired. He had hair. And when he came back, smooth as a goog. And so he sacrificed 3 to get back on the letting go, because remember he comes back and one of his big Quicksilver videos, on that comeback, the loss to Andy obviously rattled him. Gets back to a place where he's sort of winning world titles with ease, and the title of that whole voyage was Letting Go. And, mate, as a man who has kissed the follicles goodbye, I can tell you that's really what he was talking about. He was talking about letting it go. The ego, mate.
Letting go of vanity. Mate, vanity's a trap, because the more you buy into it, the more you become a prisoner of it, because your looks are going to fucking go, mate. That's an inevitability. And interesting, jogged my memory. So did he have hair during the AI rivalry?
He had it shaved right down. So picture this. It's 1998. Jake Patterson wins the Pipe Masters in the last seconds against Bruce Irons. Earlier that day, quarterfinal between Rob Machado and Kelly Slater for the world title. This is for Kelly to win the world title over Mick Campbell and Danny Wills. He wins, gets chaired up the beach after just getting drained, spat out of back door, fucking just one of those Slater performances. And he's got the shave down, but it's not the proper shave down. It's one of those kind of mangy shave downs. You know the ones. Bit patchy, kind of like not quite accepting where the fucking follicles are heading, which is straight to the bathroom floor and down the plug hole. And when he comes back from the Quicksilver Crossing, he retires that day on the beach. And then he comes back a few years later to surf against Andy. And, he's clearly, he's shaved down, but he's not doing the razor yet. So I would say still just a touch of denial there, and probably really capitalised on by Andy, who had the thick locks, mate. The Hollywood good looks, the chiseled jaw. And, the anger. You know, Kelly rarely won in anger, I reckon. Andy brought that to the fire, which that challenged the great GOAT. And, mate, look, I think it's 3. The answer to the question is 3. 3 world titles to get back to that next run of, I think that was world title number 6. So we won another 5 after that.
It's a real shame. I feel like the surfing public, particularly those who are losing their hair, was robbed of seeing a true champion, resplendent with his Lieutenant NYPD Blue Sipowicz hairdo, just claiming world titles, wearing it proud, wearing the
Where's
pedals.
the fucking Gary Ablett in surfing, bruh?
Fully.
Gary Ablett Senior.
The David Barnhill.
Well, I'll tell you where he is. Russ Bierke, bro. He's out there doing it
We
for the
still got
fucking team. Go Bierke!
Just quick doff of the toupee to JW, Julian Wilson, who has
embraced,
and he looks great. And I actually loved that Riviera.
It was cool.
Short doco.
Yeah.
I just saw it. Just an amazing insight into a family man, a guy who took the honourable route of, raising kids and being around and, stability and peace and surfing with his mates and just the classic Australian lifestyle and fucking shaving it down to a oneer, a point oneer, and he looks great. He looks fresh and fuck, the surfing was CT level over there. Lekker pick. Great surfing, great lifestyle documentary. Really enjoyed it. I'll get him on the show. Got to get W. Haven't linked up with the W.
We're well overdue for a W chat.
Dubbers.
Yeah, and he's ready to go. So let's get him on. See you next time.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah, bruh.
Good to have you back.
Are you kidding me?